Do not attempt to adjust your television screens. I am quite real. I am the dark fate. And I have been awoken from my slumber by the Dark Lord himself, so that I may bring you, the horror fans, my ghostly horror tag. So let's get started, shall we? This is 8 questions about some of my favorite horror films. The first is, what is your favorite haunted house movie? My personal favorite is The Shining, as directed by the legendary Stanley Kubrick, based upon the novel by Stephen King. Number 2. What is your favorite ghost story horror film? Now you might say that's too similar to a haunted house film, but that's not necessarily correct, because not all ghost horror films are centered around a house. My answer for this one is The Conjuring. Take your pick, number 1 or number 2. They are both excellent. Number 3 is, what is your favorite ghost story non-horror film? That's right. There are plenty of ghost stories that are not horror films. My pick would be A Christmas Carol, starring the legendary George C. Scott in the role of Ebenezer Scrooge. You might say it scared the dickens out of me. It is quite scary for a Christmas film, I must say, and the ghosts are quite creepy. I would know, of course. Number 4 is, who is your favorite ghost? It could be yours truly. For me, in film, it would be the hearse driver in the film Burnt Offerings. As a young ghost, it scared the hell out of me. Number 5. What do you think is the scariest moment in a ghost horror film? For me, the dark fate. It would be the scene from The Ring from 2002, when the ghost of Samara climbs up from the well and crawls out, literally, of the TV screen. Very, very scary and ominous indeed. Number 6. What ghost film had the spookiest atmosphere. For me, that would be The Fog by the legendary John Carpenter, my personal favorite horror film director, and I don't think there's any film that he created that has a spookier atmosphere than The Fog. Question number 7 is, what is your favorite possession film? Yes, there have been many possession films in the horror genre, but in my personal opinion, none have ever compared to the legendary classic The Exorcist, starring Linda Blair in the role of the young girl possessed by a demon, Regan. I have heard recently that some people say this film is overrated, and they put it on their list of overrated horror films. The Dark Fate may be paying you a little visit come Halloween time. The 8th and final question. What do you think is the scariest moment in a possession horror film? And for me, The Dark Fate. It's the scene in The Exorcist when Regan spins her head completely around and says, "Do you know what your daughter did?" I won't say what she did, but it was a terrifying scene that scares me to this day. It makes me want to retreat back into my slumber until Halloween, when the soul of Sean Patrick Erschen will be mine. Now I must tag some people to do the Dark Fates ghostly horror tag. I'm going to tag members of the blood-spattered trio, BRONCOJUGGALOTALKSMOVIES, Hellhound from the HorrorMetal channel, Random Horror, Movie Review Time, The Horror Miser, Monty G, Lisa Loves, Movie Massacre, and Strange Monkey, who make up 3 from the grave. Horrific Nightmares JM, and last but certainly not least, Jen's Reviews from the Grave. Thank you for joining me, The Dark Fate, for my ghostly horror tag. So answer the call and do the Dark Fate's ghostly horror tag. Tune in and stay scared.